Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is different than what I posted before, but I still hope you will enjoy it. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think. I got the idea to make this video the other day when I was looking through my stuff and I found samples from my first year of university. And looking at my very first sample which I knitted made me feel really nostalgic. I was so excited to learn that. That was approximately 4 years ago, and I've come a long way. I've learned so much. And of course, there's still so much to learn. So this video will kind of show the development of my skills throughout the years. This is my sketchbook from first semester, second year of university, and it was first time I was working on a project where I had to create a garment. These are some experimental pages. I was just playing around really. I always loved working in my sketchbook. So this is the first garment I ever knitted. And yeah, I know, at that time I was still naive enough to think that sewing woven fabric with knit was a good idea. I actually fully fashioned these pieces for the front panel, and it was quite an achievement for my level. I play with knit and purl. For the bubbles on the sleeves, I used recycled plastic bags. This was a project in which we had to include sustainability. So all this yarn was actually unraveled from some garments that I bought from charity shops, and indeed that was quite a fun project. Here's a little crochet edge, as I didn't know what a rib was yet. Well, overall this is a proper student-y looking little dress. Moving on to second year, second semester, we worked for a project inspired from African culture. I took inspiration from African face painting and house painting. This is the garment I made. At that time I had learned already how to use a punch card and create my own Fair Isle design. Also knew how to use an intarsia carriage. Here's some engineer design attempt. I remember it wasn't easy to calculate all this on squared paper, but it was definitely a learning process. The placket was knitted on a Dubiade and the buttonholes were made on a sewing machine. The finishing could definitely look better, and this wool cries for a good wash. And again, I should have done a rib on the cuffs and hem, but anyway, overall it's not that bad, and we can definitely see, or hopefully, see some improvement from the previous dress. Moving on to the final year, I did a lot of research for my graduate collection, but most of the things I researched I didn't end up using. I took inspiration from geometric artwork such as paintings and sculpture from museums and galleries and tried to translate it into knit in some way. Looking back, I think I could have done better, but I had so much fun working in my sketchbook and sampling, playing with color palettes, which changed over time. It is all a learning process. In my final year, I was already quite confident in using a Dubiade machine, and I used that as well as the domestic. My graduate collection was a menswear one, so I explored lots of designs for wovens, stitches, colors, shirts, trousers. That helped a lot building up sewing skills. I will be showing you some of the knitted pieces I made. Here's the first one. I used both Brother and 8-gauge Dubiate machines. The front is made out of 2 panels, one abstract geometric intarsia and one with cables. The sleeves are knitted in a full cardigan stitch with a proper wave this time. This jumper was also knitted on 2 different machines. The rib for the neckline and sleeves were knitted on a 5-gauge Dubiate. The front is made from 3 different panels knitted on a standard gauge domestic. I'm really happy how the neckline ended up and how it's going down the sleeve on the left shoulder. The last jumper I will show you from this collection is very similar to the previous one. It has a triangle motif on the front, back and sleeves, knitted almost entirely on a 5-gauge Dubiate. The last project I will show you, I started working on shortly after graduating. It doesn't have a sketchbook or previous research. In this collection I explored different ways of creating knitted cables. The approach I took making this garment is experimental and playful, but technical and wearable in the same time. There was almost no previous planning and no pattern used. These garments are made by building sleeves, necklines, front and back panels from pieces draped on the stand, and decisions were taken along the way. The first garment is the queen of cables, as I like to call it, an oversized jumper with a small detail knitted on a Brother machine with some cable and a few beads, but the rest of the jumper was knitted on an 8-gauge Dubiate. The main techniques I've used are plaiting and full cardigan stitch. It is all sewn and linked by hand. Second garment is a sleeveless top with 2 cables going down the front. Again, there are lots of cables going on. My favorite part of this top is these two side openings. You can use this buckle to adjust it. This was knitted on an 8 and 5 gauge Dubiate. Just the panel in the middle front was knitted on a standard brother. Main technique used are again cables, plating and mock ribs. Next garment is a mini dress. I love this one and I'm definitely gonna wear it in the summer as it's knitted in a cotton. It has two small cables going from the front all the way to the back with some lace detail and some beads. The sleeves are knitted in a plated mock rib. The opening and the gathering at the waist has the purpose to show a little bit of skin. The last garment is a turtleneck top, knitted in a mock rib with some lace detail on the front and the shoulders. It has a massive cable going down the sleeves. There is beauty in not knowing how your garment will end up, and seeing the final piece finished is even more satisfying. So this is what this collection is made to express. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm curious to know what you think, so don't hesitate to leave me a comment. There will be more tutorial videos coming up soon. Please subscribe to my channel for more knitting related videos and tutorials. My name is Elena and I'll see you next time.